All right. So the free Facebook group, should you have one or shouldn't you? Is it a good thing? Is it not a good thing? This is not really a new topic. Facebook groups have been around for a very long time. And a lot of you that are watching already have your own Facebook groups, and some of you don't. Some of you don't want to. But I felt it's a topic worth discussing because there's definitely, sorry, grab my notes. Definitely some pros and cons to think about. And um, Facebook groups, here's one of the reasons that Facebook groups are a good thing to have as long as you're going to manage them properly. And, a lot of people will ask me, well, I have a Facebook page. Do I also need a Facebook group? If I do, like, which one do I post on? What do I use them for? All that good stuff. And there are different uses for each. First of all, you absolutely, and I'm sure most of you watching me already have a Facebook business page. You definitely need to have that. That is almost, like these days, if you like have a business and you don't have a website, people are like, you don't have a website? Like, are you really a business? Not that you can't get clients and make money without a website. You definitely can. But that is kind of what people look at Facebook pages, almost like, oh, let me go look them up. Okay. And one of the things that people will make a quick snap decision or snap judgment on whether it's right or wrong is kind of like how many followers you have, right? We use that as a tool in considering whether or not we want to work with a business or what we, if we trust them. It's just like if we go look up the reviews on a restaurant or a product or something. It's the same thing. Your Facebook page is looked at in that way. So number one, it is worth it for you to have a page, to try to build a following on that page, to post on that page regularly. And of course, you have to have a page in order to run ads. So you definitely need a page where, and Facebook, the truth is Facebook doesn't show your posts to many of your followers. So unless you've got a really strong organic game plan, posting on your page isn't really going to benefit you much in terms of getting lots of business. But it is one of those things that's necessary because, like I said, people will kind of make a judgment and go and see, well, let me see how legit this business is. If they have 50 followers, then, the chance of them being, they'll kind of use it as a measuring tool for how trustworthy you are or how much of an authority you are. Because if I go look at someone's page and they're telling me that they're a Facebook expert and I go to their page and they have 100 followers, I'm going to be like, I don't really know how good they are at what they do. They only have 100 followers and they're supposed to be this Facebook expert. Versus, so we look at it in that way and kind of use it as a measuring tool for how much we're willing to believe that this person is credible and that they're an authority and all those good things. Well, a group is kind of a secondary type of source like that. Only the benefit of a group is that more of the people will actually see your posts and engage. So a page is not really a place where you're going to get a ton of engagement. You can get some, and there's certainly, you can run ads and things like that to get more engagement on your page for sure. But a group is a place where people feel a little bit more safe to discuss the content. They know that they're in a group of like-minded people that obviously are all trying to, and what I mean by like-minded is they're all there because of like the same reason, because a group is usually based around a problem or a solution or a theme. And so there's a group of people there that are all trying to solve the same problem or connect based on the same topic. And so a group is great because more of the people will see it, you'll get more engagement, and it's just allows for a more personal touch, more personal interaction than it does on a page. If someone posts something on your page, anybody who goes to your page can see a comment that they left. Versus if you have a private group, only the people in the group will see what that person says. And so people feel more safe in terms of sharing things that are maybe more personal or talk about topics that maybe they wouldn't post to a page where everybody in the world can see it. And so for that reason, groups are really, really great. What I would tell you is don't bother creating a free Facebook group if you don't plan to actually be active in the group. And honestly, that is one reason that has kept me from I have lots of Facebook groups, but none of them are a free group, not yet anyways, because I spend so much time right now in the groups taking care of my paid clients. I don't feel like I can dedicate the time that's needed to be active in that group every single day. Now, that doesn't mean that you should make the same decision. I want you to make that decision for yourself, but that's one of the things that you should consider when you're deciding to make a group is how active am I going to be in this group? How much time am I going to dedicate to it? And if it's a part of your overall marketing plan, then it's absolutely worth spending the time in. And here's the reason that it's worth spending the time in there is that it allows you to build relationship with people at a different level. Again, on a business page, people aren't going to engage that much, but in a group, you will have people that engage at another level. So you're kind of, it allows you to create this relationship with your audience. The other cool thing about that is that you can get to know your audience better in terms of how they view this problem that they have that you can help them with. And so it allows you to do some research, on your audience and get to know them better. How do they talk about the problem? What do they worry about? What do they wish they had? What do they think is holding them back? And so these are conversations that you can have in the group to really get to know your audience. And a lot of people, I've known a lot of people that created free groups before they even had anything to sell, because they knew they were going to create a product or a service or whatever. But really, the purpose of that group was to get to know their audience better. That is one of the most amazing tools that you could use that kind of replaces the old-fashioned focus groups. And I've talked about this, I think last week I talked about this. But a focus group is what PR companies used to use, where they'd gather a group of people and ask them questions about the problem or test the product or test out some headlines on them, different marketing messages, different things like that. Your group is actually allowing you to do that. And so even if you don't have anything for sale yet, or you don't know what it's going to be, or you have a couple things, it's a great way to get to know the pain points and the desires of your audience themselves. So if you have a free group and you're not using it in that way, I would highly encourage you to really use it to get to know your audience. Another thing is that it allows you to build that trust and authority and credibility. When you're the expert in the audience, in the group, it's your group, and you're in there talking about a topic and sharing about you with your knowledge and expertise on that topic. It's positioning you as the authority, right? And over time, as they see what you post and they get to know you, you're building trust. And I find that this is exceptionally valuable when you're selling high ticket. Okay, if you have a high ticket offer, one of the best resources for you, or best like supporting resources for you in terms of converting sales, is a free Facebook group. Because sometimes people will be hesitant to spend $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 with a complete stranger that they don't know. And maybe they watched your webinar, or maybe they're on your list, but they don't really trust you yet. They don't really believe you can solve their problem. And so by putting those people in a Facebook group, it allows you to continue building that trust, right? Building that relationship, interacting with them, conversating with them, and will often help improve the conversion rates for you when you have a high ticket offer, because they can see like, okay, this person is a real person. I feel like I can trust them. I've gotten to know them. I think that they can solve my problem. I've got evidence of this that I've seen over and over in the group. And so I think that when you have a high ticket offer, a free Facebook group won't actually take away from your high ticket sales. To me, it will add to it and help to convert them. The other thing is the social proof. Okay. So same thing that I talked about with your business page. If you have a business page where you only have 50 or 100 followers and someone goes there, they're going to say, well, how much of an expert can they be? They have hardly anybody following them. The same thing when you have a free Facebook group. When you've got a free Facebook group that has thousands and thousands and thousands of people in it, it just adds instantly, because of the way our society thinks about things and views those things these days. It just adds kind of this instant social proof that it gives you, a notch up in terms of the credibility. This person must know what they're talking about, because otherwise, why would thousands of people be in this group with them? They must have good information. Otherwise, why would thousands of people be in the group with them? And so it just adds even more credibility to what you're doing by you having thousands and thousands of people in this group that are following you they're there because of the expertise and knowledge that you have that you're sharing with the group. And another good way that you could use your group is, I talked about high ticket, but you could also add everybody. If you have a low ticket offer that maybe doesn't offer any support, it's like a DIY offer. Maybe it's $27, $37 where you're selling information, but it doesn't come with any kind of support or coaching. Then a free group can be a great place to put the people who buy those, because now you're continuing to build that relationship with them other than just like, hey, sell. It's just transactional, right? Let me sell you a product. A transaction took place. There's no relationship building happening there. We're not going to the next level of connection. And so by adding your low ticket buyers to a Facebook group now makes that a more personal, not just transactional, it makes it a more personal relationship where you can get to know them, and they're going to continue to engage with you, and they're much more likely to then continue to buy from you because they not only got to experience your amazing product, but now they got to engage with you as well. And so I like free Facebook groups for many, many reasons, as I've shared here. And I do think it's important, though, for you to decide if it's right for you. For some people, they're like, this is absolutely the right way for me, and I'm going to do everything I can to grow my group because it's part of my overall marketing strategy and it's worth the time and effort that I'm going to put into it. Other people may say, no, my focus is on something else. It's not part of my marketing strategy. I don't feel it's a good fit for me, and don't do it. So I don't believe that everybody should have a free Facebook group just because there's a lot of benefits to it, because there won't be any benefits to it if it's not something that you enjoy doing, that you plan to be engaged with and be involved with. Then it actually is going to kind of become an annoyance to you where you're like, oh, great, I got to go do this. Or you start ignoring the group. And then it has no value to you whatsoever. And then you'll end up with this group full of thousands of people. And you're like, I don't even know what to do with this. And now you feel like it's wasteful and you're not serving those people. And so first thing is I want you to just make sure that it's the right choice for you. And even if it's not the right choice now, doesn't mean you can't change your mind later and it become the right choice for you. So number one, decide if it is a good choice for you. And if you're going to put in the time and effort, it can absolutely be a wonderful place to get clients from and continue to make sales, mainly because you're building relationship with people, allowing your audience to get to know you're getting to know them, and you're building that trust and authority and credibility. And then two last things I wanted to point out is that you really need to you won't have a lot of engagement in the group. Typically, obviously there's exceptions to everything, but typically you're not going to get a lot of engagement in the group till you have at least 100 people in the group. It's kind of like when you hit that 100 people, you'll start seeing more action. And then really when you get to about 1,000 people in the group, is when you'll really start to see good engagement. And to me, a Facebook group isn't very fun unless you're getting a lot of engagement. If you're posting in the group and nobody's really responding to you, it's going to become really boring really quick. And so the faster you can grow your Facebook group to get thousands of people in there, the more fun it'll actually be, because you'll have more engagement going on. You'll have more people sharing. You'll be able to learn more about your audience, all of those things. So I would recommend that you grow that group as fast as possible if you decide you're going to do it, because it will be more fun that way. And then the final thing I wanted to say is, there are going to be people in that group who are never going to buy from you. And there are going to be people in that group who buy from you once. There's going to be people in the group who become your raving fans and buy everything that there is. And they're all valuable. They're all valuable people. I see a lot of times people saying like, oh, well, I have people in my group that they're not engaging, they're not doing anything. They're just in the group. I'm going to kick them out of the group. And I'm like, for what? Like, it's not hurting anything. Number one, it's adding social proof that you have that many people in the group, which is going to make it more desirable for people to come. People want to join groups where there's a lot of people in the group. And so it's going to make it even more desirable to come. And so some of those people are strictly there just for the social proof, right? And you're always, anytime, and we have those things in life in all areas of business, personal, everything. You've got people that hardly engage, people that, engage once or twice, and then people who are like your raving fans. And we need all of them in order to have a successful group. So I would encourage you not to look at it as like, well, if somebody's not engaged, I'm just going to kick them out of the group. Like, wow, it's not hurting anything, right? So those are my suggestions for the group. If you have a free Facebook group and you want to grow it super fast, then I want you to join me this Friday, March 5th. I'm actually teaching a class on how to use Facebook ads to get people into your free Facebook group really, really fast. The class is $10. I've never sold a class for $10 before. This class will not be $10 once I've recorded it. I'm going to teach it live on Friday, and then that recording will go into a membership site and the price will immediately go up to $27. And so this Friday, I'm going to be not only teaching step by step how to set up your ads to run to a Facebook group, the right way to optimize for conversions. I'm giving you plug and play templates. We'll be talking about images to use, lots of things we'll be talking about there. So for $10, you get to come hang out with me. Then I'm going to open it up for Q&A afterwards, and you'll also get the recording. So for $10, You can get a training from me. This is not like a halfway training where I'm only going to give you a couple things you need. It is like literally everything from start to finish that you need to run ads to a Facebook group and get people in your group as fast and cheaply as possible. We're going to do Q&A, and then you're also going to get the recording. After Friday, the price goes up to $27. So I would suggest you join this class for $10. You have nothing to lose. It's $10. You'll spend more than that at Starbucks today. And then you can come hang out with me and we'll talk about growing your group really, really fast. So the link to that is wearepowerplay.com/group 10. wearepowerplay.com/group 10. And that's going to happen this Friday, March 5th. I hope that you'll join me. Come hang out. We'll talk about Facebook groups. And I also have a little bonus surprise that I'm going to be adding on to for free for those of you who purchase the class. So hope that you'll join me and have a great day.